Welcome to the Everyday Epigenetics Raw, Real, Relatable podcast. I'm your host, Susan Robbins, epigenetic human performance coach. This is where we discuss all things lifestyle, environment, food, exercise, work, mind, and social interaction as they pertain to epigenetic expression in a way that's relatable to everyone. So if you're ready to start viewing you as an individual, take control of your life and health, and get results, buckle up, here we go. Welcome to the Everyday Epigenetics Raw, Real, Relatable podcast. I'm your host, Susan Robbins. This is where we talk about everything lifestyle and environment and how it relates to our genetic expression. Today is another mini podcast. So it's going to be a lot of information packed into a shorter amount of time. And the topic I want to discuss today is oxidative stress. Imbalance leads to cellular damage, which can contribute to aging and a wide range of chronic diseases. So, I'm going to talk about this today. I'm going to talk about the causes of oxidative stress. I'm going to talk about symptoms of oxidative stress. And then I'm going to talk about the 6 health types and how each one of them handles stress and some tips on what you can do. So, if you are a former client, you're a PH360 person, you're a present client, maybe you're a coach and you already know your health type, fantastic. You'll be able to relate. I will also at the end have some tips that are really that any of the health types can use in dealing with oxidative stress as well. But I think you'll enjoy hearing how the 6 health types are all differently impacted and really what causes oxidative stress differently for the different health types. Buckle up. Here we go. I'm going to start with the factors that contribute to high oxidative stress and how they often stem from lifestyle. Duh. What does it? Environmental exposures and internal biological processes. So we have environmental toxins. No surprise, right? And if you think about it, oxidative stress is like rust on a car. Okay. So it's going to affect the body of that car. So environmental toxins, persistent exposure to pollutants like heavy metals, pesticides, industrial chemicals, air pollution for those of us around the cities can really overwhelm the body's detox pathways. And these toxins will accumulate in tissues and trigger inflammation and cellular damage. Poor diet. Again, no surprise. The standard American crap diet of processed foods, trans fats, refined sugars, and carbs can really increase oxidative stress. And so many people deal with nutritional deficiencies, especially in antioxidants like vitamin C, E, and selenium. Eat the 2 Brazil nuts a day helps keep that selenium level up there to deal with this. These nutrient deficiencies can really leave the body less equipped to combat these free radicals. Chronic inflammation. Inflammation, whether it's from infections, autoimmune conditions, metabolic imbalances, they generate ROS as part of the immune. These are like the cells, our little batteries for our cells. It's our energy. And they're little cellular powerhouses, and they naturally produce ROS during energy production. But when the mitochondrial function is impaired, whether it's due to aging, toxins, chronic stress, you hear some of these factors just ringing out over and over, right? ROS production can really spiral out of control. Lifestyle factors. Again, do I need to keep saying no surprise? Captain Obvious. Smoking, excessive alcohol consumption. Yeah, going out and having your 7, 8 beers on the weekend or a night or drinking every night or day. Day drinkers. Excessive alcohol consumption. Lack of physical activity. get off your ass, are significant contributors. On the other hand, or flip side, let's say, overtraining or extreme exercise without adequate recovery can also elevate the ROS levels. I'm going to be doing a podcast on high impact inflammation genes, and they are driven up with too much exercise, to exercise for too long. It's an interesting stuff. Stress, again, psychological stress triggers the release of hormones like cortisol. And we know cortisol can increase ROS production. Prolonged stress also weakens the body's antioxidant defenses. So, recovery from stress. We are not going to get rid of stress. We have good stress in our life, we have bad stresses in our life. We need to have adequate recovery from stress. Radiation and UV exposure. So, exposure to ultraviolet or UV rays or other forms of radiation can damage skin cells and it generates free radicals, accelerating oxidative stress. We're getting hit with it everywhere, right? EMFs or electromagnetic radiation. This one is really an emerging topic, but there is evidence suggesting that prolonged exposure to the EMFs from technology may disrupt cellular function and increase oxidative stress. So we don't want to be constantly connected. Disconnect, get it out of the room, right? Infections and immune responses. When the immune system fights off infections, it produces ROS to destroy the pathogens. Again, natural process, the body's working as it's supposed to, but it's when it becomes excessive or prolonged, that immune activation, that's what'll lead to collateral damage in the healthy tissues. It's too much of a reaction because it's too long. Aging. I say this as I just hit the big 6-0. Our natural antioxidant defenses decline with age. Wonder why older people get sick more often. But again, oxidative stress. So you see why lifestyle here and some supplementation makes such a difference. So the key to managing this really lies in addressing the root causes. Why, how are you getting this oxidative stress? It could be coming from several different things at one time, or it could be really hitting you hard with one thing. But the beauty of it is, every one of these things I've talked about, you can work with. So, a nutrient dense diet, okay? These extremes that cut out all these foods, and especially vegetables, which are loaded with antioxidants, and good low glycemic fruits. They're loaded with antioxidants. Regular, regular moderate exercise. It's okay to do some hits, some high intensity, but again, it's in the recovery. Are you getting recovery or you just keep impounding yourself? Stress management, it just spoke on, and minimizing exposure to toxins as much as possible. Now, again, we're hammered with toxins everywhere. You're not going to be able to be the boy in the plastic bubble, nor do you want to be. Any of you in the 70s remember that? John Travolta. He's running on the beach when he gets let out of this bubble, trying to keep him from getting any illness. It's not going to happen. But there's, even if you take one or two steps to decrease your exposure to different toxins, is going to be helpful. Supporting mitochondrial health through practices like, for some people, intermittent fasting, for others, opposite. Breath work. I think that for everybody is huge. And again, different health types respond better to different type of breath work. Targeted supplementation. And again, I dial this in when I do DNA testing on people, because you should be absolutely taking the things that you need and not taking a bunch of shit that you don't need. Why waste the money on things that are just, you heard an influencer say it's good? Understand why you're taking what you're taking. What does your body need? Again, oxidative stress, natural part of life, but when it's excessive, like everything else, it's a signal that the body is out of balance. So when we address the factors, we can restore harmony and protect the cells from the unnecessary damage. Now, the symptoms of oxidative stress, they can manifest in a variety of symptoms. They're going to be subtle a lot of the times at first. And as I went over, from free radical production and the body's ability to neutralize them with the antioxidants. So here's some things that you might notice: fatigue and low energy. And this is one of the most common signs. Oxidative stress disrupts the mitochondrial function, reducing ATP production, which is the currency, again, the batteries for your cells. And this can leave you feeling tired or drained even after resting. Another one is brain fog and cognitive decline. So, difficulty concentrating, memory issues, like I'm having here, mental sluggish or brain fog can all be the result of oxidative damage to neurons and brain tissue. And then over time, it can contribute to neurodegenerative conditions like Alzheimer's or Parkinson's. And I'll tell you, if you're an ApoE4 with an increased risk of Alzheimer's, as am I, and many of my clients, like again, we want to take control of our lifestyle and mitigate every factor possible. Premature aging. Oxidative stress accelerates the breakdown of collagen and elastin in the skin, and it can lead to good old wrinkles, fine lines, and sagging skin. Those of us that are sun worshipers get it. It also contributes to graying hair and hair loss. So maybe it's not all your thyroid or your hormones. It could be simply oxidative stress that's causing some of your hair loss, or combination of all those things. So, weakened immune function's another one. And again, I touched on that earlier. Chronic oxidative stress can impair the immune system. It can make you more susceptible to infections and longer recovery times. So, if you're going in for surgery, if you're having a procedure coming up, you really want to be dialed in before this so that you don't have issues with recovery. This is huge. Chronic inflammation and pain. Another one, like, hello? How many of you out there are, like, putting up your hands going, "Oh my god, this is so me." Chron Oxidative stress, it so much of the time goes hand in hand with inflammation, and it can manifest as joint pain, muscle aches, even conditions like arthritis, which is also autoimmune. We have digestive issues, damage to the gut lining and the microbiota, biota, however you wanna pronounce it. You say biota, I say biota. This is what happens when you get me back by myself again. So those imbalances caused by oxidative stress can lead to bloating, discomfort, even conditions like leaky gut. We know the gut affects the brain, right? The gut-brain connection. Then we have cardiovascular symptoms. So high oxidative stress, things like skin irritation, redness, or flare ups of conditions, autoimmune conditions like eczema and psoriasis. So, if they're flaring up and it's not exactly the food you're eating or other things in your lifestyle, think about what you're exposing yourself to. Mood disorders. Who'd have thought? Oxidative stress impacts neurotransmitter balance, and it can potentially lead to anxiety, depression, mood swings. So, again, think about this. Lifestyle is the key. Getting to these root causes, not just by test after test, but just examining your lifestyle and the environment around you. Okay. And then I think the last one I will talk about is frequent illness or slow healing. And I touched on that just a little bit ago as well. If your body is having trouble repairing, whether it's from injuries, illnesses, any of that, you might notice wounds taking longer to heal, or a pattern again of recurring illness, you've got some oxidative stress going on. Time to dial in. So, again, a lot of these often overlap with other conditions. So, test, don't guess, work with someone that gets it, whether it's me, a functional health practitioner, but you got to get to the root cause and see is oxidative stress taking place here. But again, it's going to stem from lifestyle, even if you think you're doing all the right things. If oxidative stress, if it is suspected, like poor diet, environmental stress, you want to boost your antioxidant intake through the nutrient rich foods. Again, supplements can make a difference, but you want to get on the right things for your body. The way we address it really should be as unique as you are. This is personalized health. So, your health type, this is 6 health types: activator, connector, guardian, diplomat or the diplos, sensors, crusaders. They all play a pivotal role in determining how your body responds to stress and what strategies are going to work best for dealing with it. It all comes down to the predominant hormones that developed when you were in the womb, and they're different for all 6 of the health types. Again, come along for the ride here. I'm going to break it down by health type so that you can take targeted actions. Truly, surprise, high energy, fast moving individuals. And we thrive on action. We are made for action. We're made for movement. And so we have a higher metabolic rate, and this can lead to increased free radical production. If you saw, like, the majority of my supplements are literally antioxidants. If if we are overtraining, not recovering properly, that free radical production really increases. So, key strategies for my activator friends: antioxidant rich foods. And I see this in the profiles, hugely high in antioxidants. They're always at the top of the list. Again, the foods differ for each person because we're all different where we are, how we're expressing. But we typically are going to focus on like quick nutrient dense options like berries, citrus, dark leafy greens. They're easy to integrate into fast-paced lifestyle. Adaptogenic herbs can be fabulous. I love, love, love some rhodiola and ashwagandha. Again, not right for everybody, but they can be helpful for a lot of activators because they can help regulate cortisol levels and then reduce oxidative stress from physical and mental demands. Some recovery practices incorporating active recovery. Again, we're made to move. I prefer to go for a nice gentle walk, but it could be yoga or stretching to balance out the intense workouts that we typically do. Overtraining, super common trap for us because we are made to move. So we have to really be mindful of that. Take rest days, even a rest day where you don't do a damn thing. Hydration, super important. Make sure you're drinking enough water with added electrolytes to support cellular repair and detoxification. I love, love, love Beam Minerals. I do not tout products on my podcast, but I do tout Beam Minerals. You can check out our Beam Minerals podcast. I think it was like number 4 or something last year. And I have a discount code for Beam, and I'll put it in the show notes as well. I think it's 20% off for a fantastic product. And that's for any of the health tips. Connectors. Connectors are super social, empathetic, and very emotionally driven. So their oxidative stress often stems from emotional stress or burnout from overcommitting to others. Some key strategies for my connector buds, and I'm super connectory. Emotional detox. Practice mindfulness, meditation, journaling to release your emotional tension. A good, what the ugly cry friend, right? Someone you can just let it all out to. Emotional stress is a significant driver of oxidative stress for connectors. So, omega-3 fatty acids in foods like salmon, walnuts, flax seeds to reduce inflammation and support brain health are fabulous. Herbal teas like chamomile, holy basil is a supplement I love. reduce stress. It's energizing without being stimulated. And it will help with slow down free radical production. Social boundaries, say no. Learn to say no and prioritize self to prevent emotional exhaustion. Hugely important. Guardians, big teddy bears, I love you. They're steady, reliable, often prone to overworking or neglecting their own needs because they're busy taking care of everybody else. And this oxidative stress often arises from chronic inflammation and poor dietary habits because they put themselves last. So, key strategies for my beautiful guardians out there: anti inflammatory diet. And what do we have you on? Some of you do some grains. I know oats work for a lot of you, but high veggie intake and fruits. Really, really high on the list for guardians. Turmeric, ginger, green tea, I see, really good. Magnesium supplementation, crucial for energy production and reducing oxidative stress. Avoiding the processed foods and refined sugars, which a lot of my beautiful guardians turn to for their little wrapping up in comfort, but it just is so toxic for them. Gentle exercise, walking. And people say, don't do cardio. If you're guarding, get out there and walk. You can walk forever. You are so strong, so resilient. Be gentle. Walking, Tai Chi, swimming. I have a guardian. She's got to get in the pool. And that can really help reduce stress without overloading the body. Good sleep hygiene. Prioritize consistent quality sleep to allow the body to repair and detoxify. My diplomats, you guys are nurturing calm typically, unless some of you with the activator propensities. I feel for you, but very, very deeply connected to nature. But they can struggle with really sluggish detox pathways. And I know all my diplomats out there right now are shaking their head like, oh my God, yes, which really can lead to toxin buildup and oxidative stress. So, some key strategies for my diplos: detox support, incorporate cruciferous veggies, but green leafies, veggies to support liver detox pathways. If you are not able to have your cruciferous veggies on your profile for a certain period of time due to thyroid or whatever, DIM is a great supplement, DIM. CoQ10 is another wonderful supplement. And it's a natural mitochondrial booster. It's beneficial, especially for diplos, to enhance energy production and reduce oxidative damage. It's one of my favorite supplements. I'm never without it. Grounding practices. Spend time in nature. Practice grounding techniques, walking barefoot to help reduce stress and restore balance. I know a lot of my diplos love the grounding mats. Red light, but getting out in nature, fantastic. Hydrate. Water with lemon. Starting the day with warm water and lemon really can help support gentle detox. Sensors, super detail oriented, precise, and very much perfectionists. Their oxidative stress often stems from mental overexertion and environmental sensitivities. Some key strategies: brain supportive nutrients, really good antioxidant rich foods, blueberries, walnuts, dark chocolate, dare I say it, can be really good. Again, if you have a pH 360 profile, check to see the foods that are ideal for you at this time, because again, we're all different, but generally these can be some really good foods. These will a lot of times protect against cognitive oxidative stress. Environmental detox, minimize exposure to toxins by using air purifiers, avoiding synthetic chemicals, choosing organic foods, mindfulness practices, engage in activities like breath work, meditation, think calm that mind, reduce that stress. That really also helps that digestive system that is so typically inefficient. And don't intermittent fast, right? Natural nootropics like Bacopa moneri. Bacopa I love, especially if you've done your DNA and you are a BDNF TC, so you have a variant in there, or you're a CC, which is generally good BDNF. BDNF is brain-derived neurotropic factor, and it's really important for spatial awareness, cognitive function, memory. And things that drive down BDNF, again, oxidative stress, but chronic stress, social isolation, and sugar. Bacopa, not recommended if you're on thyroid meds, but holy basil, again, is another wonderful one for BDNF. So you can use some of these nootropics or herbs for this as well. And ginkgo can also enhance cognitive function and reduce oxidative damage in the brain. And then last but not least, my driven, focused, high achiever of periods of times and a lot of time don't get the recovery necessary. So I see a lot of my crusaders when they come to me have a whole lot of oxidative stress from too much activity without adequate recovery. So key strategies for crusaders: mitochondrial support, fatty fish, eggs, nuts. Really need to support that energy production and reduce mitochondrial stress. The adaptogens, again, and antioxidants. You can combine things like ginseng with antioxidants like vitamin C to help combat the stress and support adrenal health. Structured relaxation, excuse me, super important. Scheduling downtime as they would any other task to ensure that you're giving your body time to recover. Excuse me. Okay. So, if you don't know your health type, some universal practices for all the health types: colorful diet. And I talk about this when I do DNA testing. Eat the freaking rainbow. I have so many come to me that have been doing this freaking carnivore, hardcore keto, and they're afraid to eat a damn vegetable or fruit. Please, people, these are your antioxidants. Eat the variety. Go to the farmer's market, go to the organic section of the stores, and pick the pretty different colors because all of them have different nutrients. That's what we want. It'll provide a broad spectrum of these antioxidants to neutralize the free radicals. Regular movement, exercise, essential, but it has to be tailored to your health type to avoid overexertion. So at least if you stay moderate, you're good. Stress management, stress the silent killer again, whether it's meditation, energy healing, spending time with people you enjoy, just doing things you love, it's non-negotiable. Have to do it. Supplementation, consider supplements, CoQ10, magnesium, some of the adaptogens if you need them to support your natural defenses. Again, to close, oxidative stress signal that your body's out of balance. But with the right strategies tailored to your unique biology, you really can restore harmony and thrive. Again, if you're unsure of your health type, happy to explore with you how PH360, DNA, and provide personalized insights to help guide your journey. That's what I'm here for. But hopefully, you have at least created some awareness. And go to my chat, which is on Facebook. It's Everyday Epigenetics, raw, real, relatable chat. Ask questions. Give me suggestions on topics you'd like to hear about, guests you'd like to have me get on the program. I'd love your feedback, especially since I'm back doing this solo again. So thank you so much for joining us. You can share this. That would be fantastic. Subscribe. Also, I have an ebook. You can pick that up on my website, which is healthyawakening.co, not .com, or it'll be in the show notes as well. And we talk about DNA in there and the different health types and why one size fits all approaches don't work. So hopefully you got some insights here to get out there, make it a great day, be your most authentic self. Thanks for joining me. Thank you for tuning into my podcast. If you enjoyed this week's episode, I'd love for you to share it with someone who'd find the information useful. Please leave a review anywhere you listen to podcasts, and it'll help the information get out to others. If you're interested in seeing if we're a great fit to work together, the link is in the show notes below where you can sign up for a free consultation with me. So go make it a great day and let your authentic self shine.